Today, we're going to answer one of the most asked questions by those who play Counter-Strike, and that's how do you get better at the game? Counter-Strike is one of the most competitive and skill-demanding games out there. We all know firsthand just how tricky those mechanics can be to get to grips with. It was tough for me. So whether you're new to the game, you're an established player, you're just trying to grind up those competitive ranks, or you've got to the stage where you're like trying to join a team, you want to compete in some leagues and tournaments, everyone that plays CS that cares about how they're playing will be able to find a new way to improve the game and just get better continually. Now, there is a lot of mixed content out there offering advice, and a lot of it can be super beneficial, but one of the big things is how do you make sure your practice actually pays off? So in this video, I'm going to break down the routines and habits that you will need to help sharpen those skills, build the correct tendencies, protocols, and then just start making better plays in Counter-Strike. Now, just quickly, I want to remind you that we do have a giveaway running this week. It's for an M4A4 Dragon King. It is in factory new, and all you have to do to enter this is make sure you hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, and then leave a comment down below of how long you would usually spend warming up before you play CS. Good luck to those entering. The winner will be announced on the stream and on Discord, so make sure you're there, and let's get back to it. And let's not beat around the bush, because from my side, none of this would be possible without the help of Refrag. I've been using Refrag for about 18 months now, and I've managed to progress from Face at level 2 to Face at level 7, and I'm now playing in both ESEA and National Leagues with my team Elixir. It is worth mentioning that while I'm like the hard stuck level 7, my teammates and those I often play against are all level 10s, 3k plus elo sometimes, so take that level 7 with a pinch of salt. At least I want you to. And with that, while I might not be some crack 3000 plus elo, young gun, semi-pro player, what I've managed to learn and improve from using Refrag consistently over the last year and a half will definitely be able to pass some of that along to you guys and help you improve. Now, back when I started, I was actually paying for Refrag myself, but for transparency, I just want to note that I am a Refrag partner. You can get 15% off if you use my code FAWZ on their site. But I wouldn't be making a video like this if I didn't believe that it helps. Like I say, I did used to pay for it myself. And also, if you're reluctant to sort of spend the money, you're not sure, I do have trial codes available. So if you do want a trial code to run it for a few days, see what your thoughts are before you commit to it, just tag me in the Discord, in my Discord, and I'll happily send you one across. So, I've made Refrag videos before, but just a quick intro in case you need it. Refrag provides you with custom servers where you can train in realistic scenarios, where you can train your aim, utility, strategy, all that goodness within a couple of mouse clicks. Right now, as I'm recording this, there's over 20 different training tools available. They apply to both individual and team-wide practice, and then some of the most common, at least that I use, my most common, are Pre-Fire, Crosshair, Nadar, and then we use Scrim Mode. I want to say we, I mean Team Elixir. By the way, new merch dropped. Check it out. Cool. And over the last 18 months, I've tested pretty much a mix of everything they've put on the site to try and find out what works best for me, and then I can also hone in and practice specific things if I ever need to. So now that kind of brings me to the point of this video. It's routine. It's great to have a resource like Refrag, but if you want to get the absolute most out of it, then you need to build an efficient, effective routine that you can stick to. And it is also worth noting that everything you've been watching so far as I waffle on has been from Refrag. So there are 5 main benefits that I found from having a set routine. Some of these are the typical, I wouldn't say cringe statements, but they kind of are. The first one being the obvious one: it will help you improve muscle memory and precision. Now, that is just also a natural part of playing the game. But the one thing I want to note here is you're not then just playing the game like aimlessly. You're playing it with a thought process, like a goal in place of what you're doing, and that's just going to give you an uptick in building that muscle memory and precision. Obviously, once you hit a certain threshold, you might not be able to, you've hit your ceiling. You might not go better than that, but it's still worth then doing. The other one is consistency in performance. Now, I have noticed this myself in an uptick. My one thing I gotta say is when I started playing Team CS, I was like level 5, my teammates were like level 8 or 9, we were playing against teams that were level 8 or 9. Now I'm level 7, we're playing against level 10s and stuff, so mine is always that little bit tricky, because where I might be struggling, because I'm still getting up to speed on little things, when I go back and play just only level 7 face it now, it's a breeze. I have familiarity with the maps down, but that's what you can kind of just get from playing CS in general. The big one for me is the angles, and more so what I normally would call is like the protocols and the procedures. So whether you're playing defender mode and you're figuring out like what util you maybe need to dodge, the best places to hold spots from, the off angles, or you're taking a site and you need to figure out the best pathing, what you should be pre-aiming, what you should be pre-firing, stuff like that. In general, as part of it all, you'll sort of notice an improved reaction time. Now, as some other stuff, it's kind of like a ceiling for this. We're not going to be taking performance enhancement drugs to improve our reaction time, but it's kind of like the more you play, the more you play with purpose, the better you'll get, and your reaction time should improve with that. And then finally, it's kind of like general game sense. I've already mentioned like those protocols, those procedures, but it's going to help build everything in that regard. And now, the meat and potatoes, if you will. You might be sat there asking, how do you build an effective routine? How long should it be? How are you going to stick to it? And how easy is it to do? And that's where I'm going to bring it back to Refrag, because they actually have a dedicated section on the site, which I'll show you now. And for the sake of being able to see the whole screen, I'm going to remove my webcam real quick. So you can see here, I've already logged in. I'm on my Refrag. It's my team Refrag for Elixir, so I have access to everything. So normally, if you wanted to play on the fly, what I would do is I'd come over to play now. I'd pick the mode that I want. You can see here, like all 20 modes that exist. Normally, it would be pre-fire, I'll be honest. I'll pick one of the maps I want. I normally pick one of the 6 maps we play as a team, because that makes sense. And then you can see the range of servers. I pick London. Sometimes the London server's having a hiccup. I'll play on Amsterdam. It is what it is. And then I just start server, and it'll give me a server IP. But what I want to do this time, and what you guys will be doing, is coming down to this section on the left and clicking onto routines. And you can see here, I have built a routine already, but I can create more. And also, you will find official pro routines. You've got Pimp, who's the X-Pro, you've got Elite, who's on complexity on here. And then there's a mix of other stuff. Some of the guys that work at Refrag have made routines that you can subscribe to, you can save, and you can also try out. But the big thing for me is you can come here and you can build out one that fits you for the modes, the maps you want to play the most, and then you can save it directly onto Refrag. So for example, if I wanted to start this now, the only thing I have to do is hit this little play button. It's going to run the server for me, load up my 25-minute estimated length, and then it's going to give me an IP on the top. I put that in the console, boom, I'm off and I'm running. But just so I can break down what I have in my one, so really, whether you need something that's like 10 minutes, 25, an hour long, you can build full custom routines. I've only got one right now, but this is for my estimated 25 minutes, which is my ideal sort of warm-up routine time. In the future, I'm going to build a 10-minute one, and then I'm going to build like a solid like 45-minute one that if I just want to hop on, I only have an hour, I don't want to solo queue, but I want to get better, I can do it. So here is the example of my routine, which is what I found to be the most beneficial. So you can see all the steps already, but let me go through them one by one. Step 1 is pre-fire. Now, I'll have some footage come up off specifically pre-fire, so you can see what I mean. I go into Ancient, I run pre-fire. For me, the bots aren't moving in this. They will shoot back and kill you. But for me, when I'm fresh on, this is a good way for me to just get used to the movement again. I can practice some jiggle peek, some wide swings into the fight, and then just my aim in general, and obviously my protocols of what I need to pre-fire. I run this on completion, which I've put as an estimated duration of 5 minutes. Really, it's about 3 or lower if you're doing it well, but for the estimation, and if you have any breaks in between and stuff, 5 minutes is fine. But I run this on completion because I just want to, once it's done, I want to move to the next step. Which the next step for me here is going to be Crossfire. Now, I moved from Ancient onto Anubis. They're 2 of the key maps I play, 2 of my favorite, actually probably my 2 favorite maps in the game right now. So I want to make sure I'm getting some timing on these. Once again, I'm going to go for completion on this rather than a set amount of time. The reason for this is sometimes Crossfire, if you get to the high elo on the bots, it can be very punishing, but I want to make sure I actually complete it. I want that mental goal of trying to complete it, and this will help me do so. Now, step 3 is the only one that I have that's set to time and not completion. And this is because I want to come into aimbots, and at this point, after my pre-fire and Crossfire, I will probably be able to identify if anything's weak or if I'm good and I'm in flow state. Like, what is there anything that I need to address in the moment? Now, what that could be is, do I need to work on my jiggles? Do I need to work on like an element of movement, my counter strafing, just my snapping, my flicking, my spray transfers, my spray control, anything like that? I've just got a free 5 minutes in Dust here that I can focus on that. And it's just set to the 5 minutes. If I even do 3 minutes and then take a 2-minute gap between, that's fine. But that's what I want for this. Step 4 is a new one that I've been trying to build in, which is Blitz. Now, Blitz is one that I overlooked a little bit, but since I've started using it, I do actually really like it. It's basically a scenario with you versus 5 bots. They're all you're gonna go to a certain area of the map. They're all gonna pick you at different moments, and it's normally max of 2 at a time. So what it helps you do is play certain spots and scenarios and get into the rhythm of that. And again, this is why you want to play it on a map that you know you're probably going to play that night. I put Nuke in because we're starting to learn it. And I want to be able to get better at those potential fights that I'm going to have. And then this one is on completion as well, which I think you should be able to do under 5 minutes with ease, but I've just left the estimation at 5. And then finally, we have Angle Trainer, which is one of the newest ones that the Refrag has added. Now, this is a mix, I would say, of pre-fire and crossfire. Now, a mix of those 2 modes already exists in Xfire, which is where you just, it's absolutely nuts. It is really fun to play if you've already done a warm-up. But what I like about Angle Trainer, now I've put completion on this, and I put it on Mirage. There is a lot of angle trainers for Mirage. If you're not doing it smoothly, it will probably take more than 5 minutes, but you've saved time probably on pre-fire, crossfire, and blitz already. So overall, time-wise, you're not too bad. But my thing for this is, where you've done pre-fire, for example, on Ancient, which you would have seen where I can have anywhere between like 5 to 10 plus bots I have to pre-fire while clearing through a bit of the map. Angle Trainer is that for set areas of the map, but they only give you maximum of 2 bots. But what this means is you still have to go through the process of what you would normally be clearing. Like you can't run in like a fool and just hunt for the 2 guys, because if you've not cleared the right corners, you will get killed and it will reset you. Now, I think that's enough waffling of me explaining the modes. That is the 5 I've had. I'm going to review and update this. I'm going to update the routine, and I'm going to put the link for this, what I've just copied, into the pinned comment and the description. So if you guys want to try my warm-up routine, you can. And I'm going to end it there. My main point today was around how building a proper routine for warm-up and practice can help you drastically improve in Counter-Strike, both short-term and long-term. So remember though, not all improvements are going to come overnight. But with a consistent practice routine, you will see this real progress over time. And obviously some elements are short-term, some elements are long-term. And next time you see me, I will be back to waffling about skins. But I do really hope that you enjoyed this kind of video. It is something a little bit different. It's actually what I used to do more of when I started the channel. But the skins content kind of just blew up and took over. I ran with it. If you do want to see more content like this, I am happy to make it. Just please let me know. And before I go, I want to say a big thank you to my YouTube members. All that support is super appreciated. A few of you have been supporting for months now, and that is just amazing. If you want to find out more about being a member, make sure you check out that join button down below. When you hit it, it's not going to auto charge you. It'll just give you the information, shows you the tiers, shows you the perks. And remember to hit that like button, remember to hit the subscribe button. We're making the push to 7k subs, and all the supporters greatly appreciate it. I'm going to catch you guys in the next one. Thank you very much for watching. Goodbye.